Ah, yes, the Dallas Cowboys lose again. And the Miami Dolphins are in the playoffs, but the Cowboys lose thanks to the fact that some former 49ers did them in. Jeff Wilson Jr., how about that? Some of those manly runs. And then Mike McCarthy, after that last one that picked up a first down, allowed Miami to bleed out the clock, blurts out the expletive. And Dallas has its fifth loss of the season. Now Philadelphia loses tomorrow, well, then the 49ers are really cooking heading into their Monday night game against the Ravens. Anyway, Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve. This is sunset in San Francisco from a rooftop. I'm literally standing on the roof and you could see the Golden Gate Bridge behind me. You can see sunset and maybe over that way. It's not going to be, it might be spectacular actually. Yesterday was a really nice one. There weren't as many clouds. Sometimes the clouds can really take it up a notch, but I'll give you guys the full spin around. Margot right now is cooking dinner. Maybe we could get her on the live if enough people ask her to come on, go downstairs. My parents hanging out in there, but we've got the view here of the Golden Gate Bridge. Uh-oh, I better not fall off. Those of you who have vertigo could look down into the backyard, but anyway, there's the Golden Gate Bridge looking nice at sunset. We're still waiting for the 49ers to make their roster moves before this game. I thought it was going to happen a little bit earlier this afternoon. We do know that Randy Gregory currently is questionable with an illness, so he's sick. We'll see if he can rally back from the illness in time for tomorrow's game at 5:15. The game is going to be starting, what time is it right now? 4:30, so about 24 hours and 23 hours and, 24 hours and 45 minutes from now, the game will be starting. As you could tell, math is not the strong suit right here. So we'll see if Randy Gregory is going to be able to be ready to go in time, and we'll see what the 49ers roster moves end up being. All they can do is take two players from the practice squad and give them the call-up for tomorrow's game. Jason Verrett is one of the players who's eligible if the 49ers want more secondary depth against the Ravens. Obviously, they no longer can bring up T.Y. McGill because they've already used both of his practice squad activations. Taylor Stallworth, the defensive tackle who they just signed, the veteran, he'd be eligible to come off of the practice squad for the 49ers. So those are the possibilities for this team on the eve of the big game, which is also the eve of Christmas. So Christmas Eve moving into Christmas Day, and then the 49ers play on night of Christmas Day. The Eagles play the New York Giants tomorrow in the afternoon window ahead of when the 49ers play the Baltimore Ravens. So if the 49ers really want to essentially put this away, maybe even formally clinch, although I'm not sure because Detroit did win today, so maybe it's not possible to formally clinch. I think it actually would be possible to formally clinch if Philadelphia lost tomorrow. But all the 49ers can focus on is themselves, zero in on winning, because teams like the Cowboys aren't doing that right now. Dallas today outclassed by the Miami Dolphins in a good game down there in South Florida. But guys, remember 2 weeks ago, I said, hey, for some reason, Dak Prescott was the MVP favorite in the betting market, which was completely preposterous. And I said, just wait, Dallas is going to lose one of its next two games at least. They play Buffalo and they play Miami. Guess what happened? Dallas lost to both Buffalo and Miami on the road. The Cowboys simply are front runners. They don't beat good teams, and the Eagles aren't a very good team, right? So they beat the Eagles at home, but do the Eagles count? No. Do the Seahawks count? No. The Eagles have gotten very lucky in a lot of close games this year, and I think they ran out of luck when Dallas played the 49ers. They got blown out of the water. When they played Buffalo, they got blown out of the water, and I'm way more ready to call Buffalo a good team than Philadelphia this year based on the numbers. When they played Miami, the Cowboys also didn't win. So that's just who Dallas is. Dallas is a team that is a paper tiger. They're going to beat bad teams. They're not going to look good against the good teams. And if that's the 49ers' top rival in the NFC, then the 49ers are really, really happy that Dallas is the top rival, because they've already shown the ability to beat them and beat them by a lot. Those of you just joining, Cowboys just lost to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are an intriguing team to me because they have a defense now. They've been playing a lot better defense than they were early in the season. So although they don't have the best resume of teams that they've beaten, the Miami Dolphins are very, very interesting because I think they can play some two-way football, and Tyreek Hill is putting up a historic year. You talk about Offensive Player of the Year. Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek Hill have both put up awesome, awesome resumes for that particular award. Obviously, you're going to hear McCaffrey's name in the MVP discussion as well. And he has a chance at quite the closing statement tomorrow against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm zoomed in on the Golden Gate Bridge. Sorry that it's shaky, but whenever you zoom that far, it's going to be inevitable here. At sunset from the marina. Got some Purdy MVP comments. We're on the rooftop. You got ladders that go to the rooftop here in the marina. As you can see, I don't want to walk too close because I know that would scare some of you, but we're having a good time in San Francisco. Christmas Eve. I've rarely done Christmas in the city. Last year I was able to get out after Christmas Eve. Last year, this day was 49ers against Washington. It's when Brock Purdy hit George Kittle on the play that was supposed to go to Ray McCloud, but George Kittle was the Grinch who stole Christmas and ran the route to the football instead of running his own route. So he cut off Ray Mcleod for the touchdown, and the 49ers beat the Commanders. That was Carson Wentz, actually, was in that game for the Commanders, because I don't think he started, right? Yeah, he did start, but he ultimately came in the fourth quarter. The Carson Wentz cameo against the 49ers, who did just fine. Won that game, then they turned around, won against the Raiders in Vegas the next week, and then they turned around and won against the Cardinals at home. That was part of the long winning streak heading into the postseason, which saw the win against the Seahawks at Levi's Stadium, against the Cowboys in the divisional round, and then finally the 49ers lost to the Eagles because Brock Purdy got hurt. But as we now know, the 49ers probably would have beaten the Eagles had Brock Purdy not gotten hurt in the NFC Championship game. So this year they're trying to run it back healthy so that they could get back to that Super Bowl for the first time in a few years. And I think very clearly the 49ers have the best team in the NFL. Now it's a matter of, can they stay healthy enough to still be that best team when it matters? Because almost every single season in this league, the NFL champion is determined by health. It's going to be the best team with the best health, like the best combined strength of those two variables at the right time is going to win the Super Bowl. It's just a beautiful golden hour here in San Francisco. You can peek this way and you can see the Transamerica Pyramid and all those buildings on Nob Hill just basking in the very late afternoon sunlight. Almost Christmas Eve, so you get a Christmas Eve sunset. You know what else is basking in the sunlight is Alcatraz. Look at that. Alcatraz looking good here from the rooftop. Alcatraz, you pan over maybe in a little bit, we'll get one of those big container ships. Earlier today, saw one of those container ships flying, not flying, but it was cruising in here through the Golden Gate over toward the port of Oakland. The shipping has moved to Oakland as far as all those big ships. That's because they have all the container equipment there. The cranes, San Francisco has more of the scenery. They didn't allow them to build cranes on the waterfront in San Francisco. And we have the Golden Gate Bridge. How about that? Looking nice. Yesterday, we went across the Golden Gate Bridge. We went up to Sonoma. That's Mount Tamalpais, highest peak in Marin. Highest peak in the Bay Area is Mount Diablo, but I don't think you could see Mount Diablo today. I don't think the visibility is quite good enough. That one is in the East Bay. But how about the sky? I mean, we didn't think that today was going to be as spectacular as yesterday. And it wasn't as sunny as yesterday, but boy, it's looking nice today here in the city. So the Dolphins beat the Cowboys. The 49ers play tomorrow. We're just over 24 hours away from kickoff. Candlestick Park closed 10 years ago yesterday. Did the special show for that yesterday. So RIP to Candlestick Park. We're going to make another visit to the site of Candlestick before the postseason. Definitely going to do some video action there for you, just like I did last year ahead of 49ers and Cowboys. We can talk Brock Purdy. We're still waiting 49ers roster moves. Whenever those do come across, I will have a 49ers update for you. But right now, we are going live at Golden Hour from San Francisco. Nick Mullins did play today. He almost beat the Detroit Lions, but the Vikings ended up losing 30-24. So the Lions, I mean, that's a team the 49ers can face next month in the postseason. But if the 49ers can continue holding serve, continue winning football games, and tomorrow's the toughest one left on the regular season schedule, they will ensure that any potential matchup with the Lions happens in San Francisco and not in Detroit. So here we are. Any questions? I'm open to them right now. And go ahead and ask, and I'll answer as we do our little rooftop happy hour. There is a massive container ship going behind Alcatraz. You guys see it? It's going to disappear behind Alcatraz. But what's going to happen is that container ship is going to reappear as it clears Alcatraz, and it will come over here. And it will be in the background as we're talking. No in and out tonight. This is Christmas Eve. So we're actually going to be grilling some food. We might even make pizzas. Actually, I'm going to spoil it. We're going to make pizzas tonight for Christmas Eve. We were in North Beach just right now, and I'll make a video putting everything together. It'll be fun. But we went to Flour and Water Pizzeria to get the pizza dough. We went to Molinari to get some ingredients. We went to the Alimento, what's it called? Gosh, I totally forgot the name. It's right around the corner from Molinari. It's another great little deli, Italian deli. And they still have a Jimmy G sandwich on the menu, but they added a Purdy sandwich to the menu as well. It's got some turkey. I think they call it the Purdy turkey or something like that. So big 49ers fans over there. We got the pepperoni and the prosciutto from them. I think we got some pizza sauce from Luke's Local over on Green Street in Columbus. And basically got this entire assortment of ingredients from the entire Little Italy neighborhood in San Francisco. Then we swung by the Mission, came back up here to the marina. We will be grilling the pizza over here. You can see me in the window right there. It's funny. We'll be grilling the pizza on that sucker right there on the big green egg with a view of the Golden Gate Bridge and all these boats. Look, the big container ship has cleared Alcatraz. We got an update. It's making its way. It's making its way. We're gonna have a clear shot at it as it crosses in front of us and moves under the Golden Gate. So it's gonna be great. There's the moon, there's a plane, there's the city at golden hour. You could see on the East Bay, the sun is reflecting in people's windows in the Oakland Hills or the Berkeley Hills, whichever those are. That's also Tiburon. Tiburon is called Tiburon because it means shark in Spanish, and Tiburon is seeing some late afternoon sunshine with the sun reflecting off of the windows. Cool stuff. What time is it right now? It's almost 5 o'clock. I think we may have to make another quick grocery store run before we start doing all the cooking here in earnest. And I think the Safeway here in the marina closes at 7. Who do I think shines on offense tomorrow? That's a good question. Who do I think shines on offense for the 49ers? I think that even if somebody doesn't shine statistically, they're part of the overall unit. I think, everybody asks these specific questions about who shines offensively. There's games where Kittle will catch 6 passes for 150 yards and Ayuk will only catch 2 passes, but Ayuk is shining just as much as Kittle in as far as when you watch the tape, Brandon Ayuk is creating a lot of that separation that is gravity for the opposing defense to have to deal with. And they struggle to deal with it because the 49ers have so many capable skill position weapons who are generating defensive attention that somebody's going to be open because of that collective effort. So I don't look at it in terms of, okay, this guy's going to shine, this guy's going to shine statistically. I look at it as the whole unit has to be delivering at a high level. And if the whole unit is delivering at a high level, well, then the 49ers are in business because the gravity is going to take care of itself. And you look at Brock Purdy, and he's got to make good decisions and distribute the ball to wherever the opening dictates. And if he does that, the 49ers, with their current set of weapons, are pretty damn unguardable. And I think that's the case even against the Ravens team that is obviously plus defensively. Number 2 defense in the whole league behind only the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to say Merry Christmas to everybody again here. We're doing our Sunset Golden Hour live from the marina. We're waiting for the big ship to clear this building, and it has. So I can now turn around, and you could see that sucker making its way in front of Tiburon, which means shark in Spanish. I think I started that story, but didn't finish it. So Tiburon, that town on the other side of the bay, I believe that's Angel Island is behind me. Angel Island's got a cool lot of history. That boat is going in front of it. It's, first of all, the top of Angel Island, you could take a ferry out there, is 1,000 feet. So you get spectacular views of the Bay Area from the top of it. But Angel Island has seen so many things just over the past 100 years. They even had missile launching sites on Angel Island during the Cold War. So that's where that big container ship, with each of those rectangular containers, that's the size of a train car, thing is heading off probably either to Southern California or Asia, but I'm guessing it's going to be crossing the Pacific Ocean as it goes under the Golden Gate Bridge. How about the Cowboys? Somebody said, yes, the Cowboys have lost again to the Miami Dolphins, and it was the former 49ers. It was obviously Mike McDaniel, former 49ers assistant, is the Cowboys head coach, but how about Jeff Wilson running hard? You know, that last play to seal the game, essentially set up the field goal, they faked the sweep to Tyreek Hill, who obviously is having a historic year and is dominating in so many different ways from the outside with his speed. So a lot of the Cowboys defense kind of just froze trying to follow Tyreek Hill, and they gave it to Jeff Wilson, the bruise, kind of middle right, and it bruise he did, and then he flexed his muscles. And I mentioned earlier that Mike McCarthy was not happy that happened. So Jeff Wilson, just like Christian McCaffrey, is in an offense with a lot of other weapons. And when you're in that kind of situation, if you leverage those weapons correctly, so you use the gravity of Tyreek Hill, if you're the Miami Dolphins, you're going to open stuff up for other guys. That's just how football works. You're surrounded by good teammates. Things are easier. No shock. It's a team sport. That's what it's supposed to be, right? You're supposed to lift up your teammates, and that's exactly what the Miami Dolphins did today. That's exactly what the San Francisco 49ers have been doing all season. So our ship is Costco shipping over there. It's making it. It's making progress. It's going faster than I would swim, that's for sure. And it's headed off toward the Golden Gate Bridge. All right. It's golden hour. I think it's time to call it a show. Cowboys lose. They have 5 losses. The 49ers only have 3. So the 49ers just need to keep on winning. That's all that they should focus on. I'll have the update for you when that comes up here in a little bit. Everybody take care.